Hey everyone, it's time for me to share my top albums of 2022. So what's pop-a-loppin'? It's Hannah, the Omaha Introvert. Guess what? This is my last video of 22, and what a way to cap off the year by sharing what new releases I picked up and enjoyed. I haven't done one of these since 2020, and let me tell you, that was a year of amazing new releases in my opinion. So we've got power pop here, shoegaze, alternative, maybe a bit of psych. I will also mention that many of these I've never shown or talked about on my channel before, so I'm a little bit excited. I first want to say that this is not a comprehensive list by any means. I believe I mentioned before in a prior video that I was in post-punk and classic punk mode this year, so my exploration of new music was not very in-depth. And that's just kind of how I rolled in 2022. So if you want more of a thorough list, I would say check out some other channels. I think John at Digital Gramophone just released his 2022 albums list, like in 2 or 3 parts. I need to catch up on that myself. But I would lead you over there because he has a great channel anyway. So maybe check that out. But as with my other videos, these are just the albums I own in my collection. At the end, I may show a few others that I've checked out and sample that I enjoyed that I may add to my collection later on, but this isn't going to be anything crazy or voluminous, okay? Like, I ended up actually getting rid of a few 2022 releases in the past few months that I just couldn't see myself keeping or listening to again, and sometimes I just need to replenish my store credit at Grapefruit Records by trading in a stack. You know what I mean? Like, the store credit, having that is pretty awesome on the weeks where, you know, maybe my funds aren't as plentiful, but these are in no particular order, except I do have a top 5 that I came up with, and you'll know it when I start that list, okay? But really quick, I just want to show 2 reissues. Remember how I was gushing about this Juliana Hatfield Become What You Are release? Well, I finally got it just before Christmas. And this is put out by American Laundromat. So this did not arrive in time for my last video, but here she is. Just take a look. I got the red vinyl version. I thought it was going to be more of a translucent red, but it's more of just this solid red, which I'm totally fine with. It sounds pretty good. It's probably better sounding than some of the other reissues that American Laundromat has done. So I'm so glad I got this. Another album I wanted to give a shout out for that I forgot to mention in my last video is this one by Chris Church. Chris Church is one of my favorite power pop artists, and this is his album from 2011 that was just reissued this year. They did add some new backing vocals from Lindsay Murray of Gretchen's Wheel, but check out the song Bad Summer and Never So Far Away. I think I did show this album earlier this year in one of my finds videos, but I wanted to give it a shout out because I think it's a really solid power pop release by Chris Church. So Chris Church, Darling Please. So let's get started. I kind of wanted to start off with a cover to just get this out of the way. This is a cover that is guaranteed to disgust you. This is such a cringy cover, right? Bad cover, good album, okay? Don't write this off yet. Stay with me, people. But I finally got on the bus with this band. This is Dry Cleaning, and this is their album called Stump Work. So this is a gatefold. And their debut came out in 2021, which I finally just picked up as well. So this is their follow-up already. Like, they're a very active band, and this band is so different, and that's probably why I'm drawn to them. They're on the 4AD label, if that piques your interest. So automatically, like, they're in the cool club because of that. I feel like this follow-up has a different vibe than their first record. This one is perhaps a little more subdued. It's still post-punk, don't get me wrong, but it's slower. So what makes them unique is Florence Shaw has like a deadpan vocal delivery, and it's like spoken word, and this will not be your thing if you're not into that, but I love the guitars on this, especially on Driver's Story. Hot Penny Day is a great song, and Icebergs, love that as well. But this is a band that took me a few listens to appreciate, but I'm so glad I'm into them now. So Dry Cleaning with Stump Work. I got the white vinyl version. Actually, it's still on my turntable at the moment, so Next, we're gonna switch gears with some power pop. I really like Tom Curlis. He is a power pop artist from Michigan. I have mentioned his albums before on my channel. This is a new project of his with Chip Sam or Sam. So this band is called Crossword Smiles, and they're on the Big Stir label. They make just a great power pop team. So you could probably compare this to the go-between 16 Lovers Lane, Look Sharp by Joe Jackson, or Freddie Johnson's what's that album called? Free Perfect World or something like that. If you like those albums and artists, you just may like this. And I love the song Parallel Lines. Yeah, just definitely check this out if you're into power pop, and I don't know, you may have missed this band. Cirklons is next with When Only the Music Is Pretty. This is the first release from this band, and I guess it would be considered an EP because it just contains 4 songs. Recently, Kel Johansson from the bands The Urinals and 100 Flowers reached out to me because he saw one of my videos, one of my recent videos, where I featured a reissue of 100 Flowers, and I'll link it up above if you want to check out that video. I'm always just a bit starstruck when a member of a band I admire and love reaches out to me via my channel. Kel sent me a package of music containing records and CDs of projects he's been involved with, and I'll share more of that package in another video, but I just wanted to spotlight this one because it's new. It came out this year, and this is on black vinyl, but like I said, it's 4 songs, and he included just this little write-up on here, and he even signed it. He said, "Hi Hannah, hope you enjoy the sounds, cheers, Kel." So this, it says for fans of the Buzzcocks, the Bell Rays, Scott Walker, and Can. What's also cool about this is that Barbara Manning contributes vocals. And Barbara Manning, if you don't know, I showed a release called 28th Day, and they were an 80s jangle pop band, and it was one of my favorite records, used records that I found this year, like in the wild. So yeah, I recommend giving this a listen, especially like if nothing else, if for the last track, Moon Over Babaluma, which is like over 8 minutes long and it goes into psych territory. It is so cool. So check out Cirklons if you have a free moment and want to check out some new music. So next in my video, I wanted to feature Just Mustard. So for a while, I thought that this was going to be in my top 3 albums of this year, but it's not. Compared to their last album titled Wednesday, this one just doesn't have the magic of that one. This is a post-punk / shoegaze band from Ireland. Their first release was definitely more shoegaze. Heart Under is their new one here, and I love the artwork. I'll take out the insert. Yeah, so shows them the band in the studio. With the lyrics. If you like the Cranes, Katie Ball sounds very much like Alison Shaw of the Cranes. Seriously, like dead on. This is pretty dark and heavy, this whole record. It's sparse. I have to be in the mood for it, to be honest, but it's still very much worth checking out. It just didn't make my top 5. I Am You on this record is probably my favorite track, but check them out for like heavy Cranes vibes. I like this band a lot. I just kind of wish they had like the same sound they did as on the first album, but you know, they're evolving, so can't give them any flack for that. We have a band called Black Doldrums next, and the album is called Dead Awake. Paul at Baraka P-Dub drew my attention to this band, and this is their debut. I guess I'll show the vinyl because I think it's on colored vinyl. Yeah, it's like on this kind of clearish army green with some swirls in it. This is a trio. I think they're from the UK, but this is like goth and 80s post-punk. Also some psych thrown in. I really like the songs Sleepless Nights and Runaway. This is numbered 344 out of 400 for this variant. I don't know if they have vinyl copies still available. I will try to link these bands, like their Bandcamp pages, down below in the description box if you're interested. But yeah, check out this if you're into post-punk and goth. It's good stuff. Okay, Beach Bunny. I was semi-surprised that I liked this so much, and it probably sounds like it's more for the teen or early 20s crowd, but I dig the 90s alternative vibes off of it. and it's like alternative pop. So Lily Trefilio, I think that's her name. She's like the singer-songwriter. They've been compared to Letters to Cleo from the 90s and also Charlie Bliss. This is simplistic, but it's a satisfying listen. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. So it's Beach Bunny, Emotional Creature. That's probably the most poppy album here. Next we have Uniboys or Uniboys. And when I recently found out about this band, only the CD version was available, so that's what I'm showing here. I think you can pre-order the vinyl on their Bandcamp, but this is outstanding. So this record is called Do It All Next Week, and I love the cover there. And here's the back. They're on Curation Records. Oh, I forgot to grab my little tour poster they sent. Well, it's like a poster probably about this big. It's not too big. It was kind of a cool little extra they sent along with 2 stickers, but this band, they're kind of like a modern Flaming Groovies. So just that classic 70s power pop sound, the knack, 2020, etc. They've got the hooks, the attitude, it's all there. Like these guys are really young too. I think they're all around 21 years old. So like I said, you can pre-order the vinyl on Bandcamp, and I will leave the link down below. They are worth checking out. So this really wowed me. This surprised me. I highly recommend this. Okie dokie, we are now in my top 5 records of 2022. So get ready. My number 5, Whimsical, and the album is called Melt. And don't you just love that cover? Just the colors, the beauty. It fits the music, and Paul at Baracapita sent me a copy of this earlier in the year, and this is such a terrific shoegaze and dream pop album of 2022. I think this is their 4th album. They've been around since like 1999, but they broke up somewhere along the way, and now they're a duo. I think this is their 2nd album as a duo, but there's like very ethereal vocals on this. The drums, the guitars, it's so good. It all works. This is better than most of the newer shoegaze releases in the past 5 years, in my opinion. So this is well worth checking out, and it takes a lot for a new shoegaze record to impress me. It really does. So this is high on my list, and this is like a, let me show this. I don't know if it's gonna come out in the with my lighting, but do you see how there's like, it's kind of like a dark, yeah, I mean it's dark vinyl, but it has like pink dots or pink splatter. It probably isn't gonna come through, but I tried showing it. So definitely check out Whimsical Melt if you like shoegaze. Number 4, we have Sloan with Steady. Now, with Sloan, I liked their last album, which was just titled 12, but I didn't love it. I feel like this new album, it really plays to their strengths, and this has me all the way. This is classic Sloan. I have featured Sloan in my Power Pop series if you want to go back and check that out, but if you didn't know, they are one of the top modern power pop bands in my opinion. They've been around since like the early 90s. They hail from Canada. All 4 members write songs and play different instruments, and they can sound very Beatles-esque, but I just love the harmonies. They can really rock too, they can. I don't think this is their best album, like it's not my number 1, but if I ever did a ranking, this might even crack the top 5. So the songs I really like are She Put Up With What She Put Down, Scratch the Surface, I Dream of Sleep, Dream It All Over Again. This is all good. This is all wonderful. It made my top 5, so of course it is, but check out Sloan's Steady. That's my number 4. Number 3, we have another shoegaze album. This is Velveteen with their album Empty Crush. Dead giveaway that this is a shoegaze album by the cover, right? I mean, it just screams shoegaze. But this is an album that was released just last month. I discovered this on Bandcamp, and I was just enthralled by what I heard. This right here is the shoegaze sound I gravitate towards when I'm seeking out new shoegaze. The My Bloody Valentine inspired tremolo guitars are what I'm after. So I'm not really after just a beautiful wash of sound that's more gentle. I dig for the heavier guitar sound, like that fuzzy blanket of guitars. I want that to take me over, and that's exactly what this is right here. So that being said, is this a My Bloody Valentine ripoff? I guess one could claim that. I don't care though. I'm just enamored by that. And it's noisy shoegaze, and I live for this. I live for this. So check out Velveteen, Empty Crush. They're on Shelf Life Records. This one came on, it's like, it matches the cover, right? So it's kind of a pinkish, lavender, purpley, translucent vinyl. It's gorgeous. I actually pre-ordered that one. Number 2, we have Fontaines DC. So I didn't think that they could top their 2020 album, A Hero's Death, which I was head over heels for. And I think it may have been my second favorite album of the year as well. Irish band, by the way. Just Mustard, the album I showed earlier, they opened for Fontaines earlier this year, like on a pretty big tour. I think this album reached the #1 spot in Ireland and the UK. Jackie Down the Line was the first single, and then I Love You was also another single for them. But this is a gatefold. I want to thank Patrick for sending me this duplicate copy he had, and he sent me like, I think it's like a deluxe version, but it's a 2 LP on black vinyl. Thank you, Patrick. This is incredibly brooding. It's captivating. The songs will stay in your head. I feel like they have evolved more. It's a stronger album than their prior to. Like, they just keep getting better. And I love the Irish drawl in the vocals. I'm a sucker for that. But this is very heavy post-punk influences. This is one I've kept coming back to throughout the year. This is on Partisan Records. Yeah. So Fontaines DC with Skinty Fia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but please check it out if you are behind. So for my #1, I actually thought Fontaines DC was going to take that spot for a while, but this one overtook it. This is a band called Thus Love, and this is their album titled Memorial. What makes this so special is that I'm sure many of you have not heard of this record or even this band. I have not seen this on very many best albums of 2022 lists. In fact, I haven't seen it on any yet, which is crazy to me. The person who recommended this to me, dude, seriously, like, I get a lot of suggestions from you all, and I would say maybe 60% of the recommendations end up striking a chord with me. This one just really hit me. It's like this album was curated for just my taste. Seriously, I haven't been this in love with a new album in a very long time. And I sample so many new albums, but I just end up bored or disappointed for the vast majority of them. This one is very different and just checks all the boxes. And this is like a queer or trans band out of Vermont. And I only bring that up because I think on their older Bandcamp they list that, and it's just been in a bunch of reviews I've read. But this is their only album. So it makes me really excited to hear what they do next, because this is tops. And I got the black vinyl version right here. Take it out of the sleeve. Yep, it's just black, but there is a pink vinyl version available on their Bandcamp page, which I will leave a link to down below. Ah, this is so good. This is on Captured Tracks Records, by the way. Their influences are really the best of the best. If you like 80s post-punk, like The Church, In Excess, like early In Excess, or Echo and the Bunnymen, even Chameleons, like they have Chameleons guitar riffs, but also uniquely done in their own way. This is for you. I am here for this. It doesn't have pristine production like some other newer records do for this genre. I really like how the guitars sound on this record. It's like ear candy to me. People, if you watched my channel at all this year, I'm guessing you also love post-punk at least a little bit. So please, this is where it's at this year. This is my #1 in my world for 2022. Every song is good on this. I never want to skip any tracks. Like, there are no duds. And it's kind of like, why can't others be like you? why aren't the others like you? Seriously. So yeah, just post-punk, but done so very well. Like for 2022, this kicks ass. I love this so much. I don't know if you could tell, but I love this. So please check it out. Like support these smaller bands that haven't that there hasn't been much of a buzz about, but there should be. So that's it. Those are the 2022 albums that made their way into my collection this year. And I know there's so many more out there that I want to own. I'll try to do like a little slideshow at the end here of others that I checked out and enjoyed that may end up in my shelves later on. But feel free to share your list down below and we can all interact and have a happy and good time. Anyway, I do want to say Happy New Year to all of you. It's been such a great year for me with my move, and my work has gotten busier, which it's a good and bad thing. I feel like I have a little bit less time to listen to music, but I am making more money, so, you know, it's kind of a trade-off. But I feel like I had a year of really decent content here on YouTube, and I just appreciate the people who have sent me music packages in the mail, and for all the music friendships that I formed here. Thank you for all the lovely comments. Just please be safe as you ring in 2023. I look forward to seeing you again really soon, and please give this a spinny spin, will ya? Take care.